Welcome to my channel. So I use this company's equipment a lot, and I use it because it's mid-range equipment. It's not perfectly high-end and it's not low quality, and the price point is typically about right for me to purchase the equipment and then use the equipment for medium to long duration time frames, as in not just one job but possibly years. And this company is DeWalt. And I've been using DeWalt's equipment for probably 20 years now. And they're not sponsoring this, so, this is just my review of this particular saw. I bought this saw recently, and this is a DCS 391 6.5 inch cordless circular saw. And I found a minor error. Now, this minor error is not going to stop me from using the saw. The saw is perfectly safe. I'm a skilled carpenter. I know how to use the saw in a safe and controlled manner. And this error in this device is probably a minor manufacturing error that does not happen to all of their devices. This is probably 1 out of 1,000 that went bad, and it still got shipped out. And I'm going to show you the error, and I'm going to explain what I believe the error to be. So you can see that that's the blade right there. And if I pull back, notice there's no battery in it. Okay, just for all you safety freaks. So first off, you can see a wear pattern on the blade. And I'm going to pull the safety guard back to show that wear pattern slightly better. Okay, I'm going to move the blade around a little bit so you can see that. Woo! Saw, stay put. Okay, so there's the wear pattern, okay? And you can see that the wear pattern is not happening uniformly on the blade. Now, normally I would attribute that to over-tightening this nut. And in my youth, that would have been a problem. But I'm no longer in my youth, and I've used a lot of circular saws, and I'm well-versed in how to set them and tighten them. There's no warpage in the blade. So that leads me to believe that there's a balance problem. And so when I started looking at the blade, and the blade is perfectly fine, by the way. The blade seems to be perfectly true. Blade doesn't seem to be the problem. But when I grabbed the blade and I moved it, it just moves ever so slightly. And that's not true for most saws. I'm going to see if I can get a good demonstration of this right here. Like I said, there's nothing dangerous about this saw as far as I can tell. It's just badly balanced. And probably not true for all their blades, all their saws. Let's see if I can get this into focus where something is stable. Okay, guys, hold on. Just pay attention. Everything's kind of moving because I'm in my truck. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try and get this corner to line up with the blade a little bit, and this corner won't move. The blade will. See that? Okay, hold on. That little bit of motion, I believe, is the cause of the problem. And what that I believe is there's probably, and I'm not the manufacturer of this product, but down here, there's probably a shaft bearing. And I think that shaft bearing is just minorly out. And there's no solving this. There's no sending this back to DeWalt and fixing it, getting them to fix it. They're not fixing it. There's nothing to fix. The tool's not broken. And I doubt they would warranty this problem. But that little bit of wobble right there, that tiny little bit of wobble, okay, I believe is in the shaft bearing. You can see it happening way down here. Seeing it minor. And I'm going to use this saw for years. I just won't use it for fine carpentry. Not that I would have in the first place, but I'm not going to use it for accurate cuts, is what I'm saying. I'm going to use it for rough cuts and leave it at that. And this is not a negative review on DeWalt's equipment or their brand. It's just something that happens in manufacturing. I mean, the item could have been dropped in shipment. It might not even be a manufacturing error. But I know I didn't drop the equipment. And when I used it the first time, I could hear the blade was off a little bit. You could hear it rattling. And so I took the nut off, reset it, made sure I was correct setting it, set the nut back down, put the bolt back in, reset the bolt, made sure that I was not over tightening it, and fired it up again, and the rattle did not go away. And that's what led me to believe that it was the shaft and the bearing of the shaft. And does it bother me? A little bit. Do I care so much to send it back to DeWalt? No. Will I burn through a couple more blades per year? Yes. Are they really expensive? No. Is it unsafe? No. As far as I can tell, the only thing I can say is that there's going to be the kerf cut, the cut that I'm going to be taking away will be minorly jagged. It'll be a little bit sloppy, more sloppy than a normal circular saw. And that's about it. So again, I will not use this for finished work, but then again, I never was going to. This is for rough cutting of materials. It may be a problem if I run through some plywood. It may leave a cut that I don't prefer in plywood if I have to cut or rip plywood. But typically, even then, if I'm ripping through plywood and I need an accurate cut, I'm using a guide anyways. So that little tiny amount of error in the shaft only stops me from doing fine carpentry. And I don't do fine carpentry with circular saws. I do fine carpentry with table saws and other tools that make fine carpentry work. I don't do it with rough carpentry tools. So again, I don't think this is the worst problem in the world. It's not a negative critique on DeWalt's brand. This could have happened to any company. It could have been a shipping error. I mean, stuff gets dropped, right? It could have been a minor manufacturing error. Maybe they ran out of the right bearing and they used a substandard bearing. Who knows? What I do know is that this will be safe for me and it'll be used for years, and it works. Have a great day.